الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله وهو العلي العظيم سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله وهو العلي العظيم سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله وهو العلي العظيم. So before we start, Mastoor, I would like to share with you something exciting.
Happy dance. So our faculty and staff at the university has been working on a project that we're really excited about, and it is about to come to physical manifestation. It is a book of stories it is a book of stories that faculty and staff have written about their journeys and put into this compilation book, and it's about a life lesson and what we've learned from Sidi and from the Sufi path, and it's come together inshallah into a compilation of stories that will help people to touch their hearts, give them some guidance if they're struggling with various things. And so we have 16 contributors to this book. This is the cover design, the approved cover design. And inshallah on Monday we'll get the final proof layout of the of the book in PDF form, and for its final proof before it goes to print. And inshallah in about 3 to 4 weeks it will appear in your in some form before you, where you have an opportunity to order it. It's called A Drop in the Ocean of Love, Ancient Wisdom for Living a Divinely Guided Life in our beloved Amany. It has a story in it, and Ibrahim, who will be here in the other medias in May, and Wadud and Nura and Salima and Kamala and Rahim Shmal and Mariam Reimer and Nora Preston and myself. Yes, my story is this. Wadud said last week when I was at the land, he says, they say they can take the girl out of Texas, but they can't take the Texas out of the girl. And Sidi looked at her and said, watch me. So that's really what my story's about. It's 4 lessons I learned about the truth of the feminine. And it was really a channeled story that it's, after it just kind of came through, and I went back and read it and I went, wow, that's true. That's really what happened. So it's inshallah.
Will you have copies here in May?
Inshallah.
The Sufi tafsir of the Quran. We started with Surah Al-Baqarah. It's now in the editing, and I hope it will be ready for Ramadan. So inshallah, pray that Allah help us to finish it. And it's very exciting. And that is the tafsir that Sidi had recommended and learned from himself, inspired by. And so inshallah, this is very exciting. It will be also under the Sufi University, and inshallah there will be in the future other maybe classes for it and things. So inshallah, look for that.
So it's tafsir on Baqarah?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Sufi tafsir.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
that was coming so soon.
Yeah. Ibn Ajiba is a Moroccan Sufi sheikh, and he's the only one, like most Sufis had did commentaries on the Quran and the interpretation on segments like from the Quran. But he's the one, he consistently did ayah by ayah. So, alhamdulillah. And in keeping with Sidi's tradition to bring a healing gift, alhamdulillah, this I was giving a healing for someone just close to my heart, wonderful person, and a friend, and a teacher who got cancer. So my heart wanted to give some healing. And a lot of that came, this wonderful dua inspired by an ayah in the Quran, powerful, you know. Many times we do memorize dua, supplication, that the Prophet said or mentioned, but the most powerful is what Allah inspire you in a moment to remember and say in a specific occasion. And then we can always share that with one another, but it has its power when it comes at the moment when you need it. And as I contemplated it a little more, yes, I wish, of course, I pray for physical healing, but as I looked at it, it goes beyond that. Because cancer is a tumor, right? It is something grown out of proportion. But think about it in the spiritual level. Did your anger grow out of proportion? Is your blame grow out of proportion? Is your low self-esteem grown out of proportion? Is your energy to do things grow out of proportion? Your sadness, your sorrow? Is your jealousy growing out of proportion? Is your longing for a worldly thing grown out of proportion? So these are also the spiritual cancers, kind of. So as we do healing, maybe alhamdulillah we don't have this disease, and we ask Allah's protection and healing for anyone who suffers from it. But on the spiritual level, we all have it to some extent, in some way. So this is like a healing, because Allah can, as the powerful ayah says, the ayah speaks about mountains, that Allah can order the mountain and it can crumble to nothing and be left leveled. No tumor in it, leveled. Similarly, our emotion can be leveled that way. Whatever we're stuck with can be, and the lesson from it comes, the inspiration from it comes, guidance, knowledge can come and replace that and level it and return you to your innate nature, your beautiful fitra, innate nature as a spirit from Allah, able to be merciful and loving and forgiving and just and strong and resilient and patient. When you're opposite to that, you're away from your innate nature and you think you're not able to. But Allah is able to dissolve that in a blinking of an eye and replace it with something better and more everlasting. So this is the gift. So the ayah is from Surah Taha, as far as I remember. Surah Taha, ayah number 105 to 107. But it is not the exact words because I made it into a dua. So in Arabic, for those who know Arabic, it says, Allahumma ansif hadha al-waram nasfa hatta tadharahu qa'an safsafan la tara fihi iwajan wala amata. And I wrote the transliteration too. So here it's the English translation is, O God of all, Allahumma, the God of all. Please blast this tumor, blast this anger, Blast whatever grown out of proportion in my life, blast it, and scatter it as particle of dust, until you leave it as a level, smooth plain. Nothing can be seen therein that is crooked or curved. When you are lacking peace, there is something crooked in you, there is something curved, not your innate nature. When you're grown out of anger and despair, that is not your innate nature. When we are lacking creativity or patience, and that grows out of proportion, we're crooked, we're quite curved, our life is curved. So we want to level our life. And that does not mean it won't come again, because life brings every now and every instant actually, and you experience. Sometimes also your kind of joy, which we are talking about the emotion in this session. Sometimes your joy can grow out of proportion. I mean, everyone's goal is to be joyful. But guess what? Sometimes joy can be troubling for the soul, because it makes you forgetful and heedless, and it makes you feel secure in the worldly and limited and finite things. It's actually many times this pain is what expands us. It's this contraction and expansion. This is what life is all about. If the heart does not contract, it won't be able to expand and this flow, the blood flows to sustain you. Similarly, your life goes through the contraction and the expansion, and they both are equal places. Allah says in the Quran, He's the one who causes us to laugh, and He's the one who causes us to weep. إِنَّهُ هُوَ أَضْحَكَ وَأَبْكَى. Allah is the one who causes you to be joyful, He's the one who causes you to be sad. And both are a beautiful reality, because they help us to test, to experience life to its depths, and to know through it what is everlasting from what is perishable. So whatever, again, pleasurable and joyful, it's pleasurable when you feel it in the body, it's joyful when you feel it in your feeling. Take from it that quality that is everlasting, that lesson, that what you knew, what your soul knew from it. And leave away the physicality to pass away, the event to pass away. So this should be our attitude. So I made the gift, like as usually CD would come and bring that, and I feel like he wanted me to continue with that tradition.
Thank you.
So inshallah, I'll give everyone one.
What kind of paper did you make that?
And emotion are related to the physical much, But once the physical gone, sometimes we feel, we lost that. But did we really? We try to close our eyes and smell the flower. Some might be able to, and some have not yet been able to have that. But at least you can bring the flower before your eyes. And if I tell you close your eyes and touch something spiky, you know how it is, you know the feeling. And whatever, or touch something smooth, silk, you know how that feels, the gentleness that goes with it. The gentleness, there is a quality that it goes with it. Why we enjoy a soft touch? Because it shows the gentleness. It's an expression of Allah's latif, with Allah Ra'uf. It's a trace of that, a simple trace that came to a physical, tangible way. So that's why when you experience these things, you say, Subhanallah, so beautiful, Subhanallah, or so majestic, Subhanallah. So Subhanallah is not only a duty you say search 3 times, it's a state of being. It's an exclamation, like wow. When you say this wow with your being, but if you're aware that this wow is from one single source, from Allah, and the trace of Him to show you right now and here, Himself, then subhanallah becomes a state of being that a person, an exclamation of the marvel you are experiencing. So this is how it's supposed to be. We fall in heedlessness, but that's part of it too. We fall in sadness, that's part of it too. Because through that, other qualities, such as endurance and patience and resilience. And you also, by the lack of something, you would know the thing, because you truly long for it. If many of us may have good financial situation, we are enjoying it, and maybe we fall in heedlessness, that there is others that we need to share with. But when something happened to us, or to that wealth or any other things, then we start to long to share, or long to do, like CG would come, for example, and will stir within us this compassion. And we will find ourselves giving the sacrifice. So, and then we experience the joy of it. So by sometimes what we consider blessings might actually not be good for us, because they make us miss the actual depth and beauty in life. It makes us heedless of what is truly worthy. And when we have a lack of it, so usually some people are wealthy and fine, but they feel like some emptiness. And even if they don't feel it at the moment, sooner or later they will feel it. And that emptiness is for a good reason, because it makes you yearn for something actual and real and everlasting. That's what you need. So when that lack of make you want, make you need, and this need, as we talked before, open for you the door to know. So fear opens for you the door to know the security being with Allah, the everlasting security. Right? Your longing for love open for you the opportunity to find the infinite love. And to find it and taste it. And once you know the infinite love is present and absolute and real, then when you come back to this worldly physical life and experience the finite forms of love, you still see through it the infinite. So it becomes more beautiful in one sense, and in another, and real, but also you're not very attached to the finite, because you know there is the infinite now. So the fear means you're truly going to seek what is truly make you secure. So you think the police making you secure, or this country or that country make you secure. So, but is it? To some extent, Allah wants it to be, for us to also become the representative of this security. When we open our doors for a refugee, for example, or our wealth or our effort to extend it to them, then security would occur to everyone, we will be also secure. And then we will enjoy that feeling. We will truly taste it. So the lack of something is an opportunity, the need, the desires we feel. But desires may be different than needs, because desires, I desire to obtain this, to possess that, to control this, to have authority over that. These are the egoistic desires, that is worldly desires. That is a lower form of desire. But behind it, there is actually an actual need. An actual need for security, an actual need for peace, an actual need for enrichment, an actual need for fulfillment, an actual need for love, an actual need for forgiveness. an actual need for compassion. Those are actual needs and they are good. It's good that we're longing for them, because if we're not longing for them and we become in the illusion of being satisfied with the desires that is fulfilled in a worldly way, then when that's taken, there is always a turmoil. We go through a turmoil. But when we have the infinite, when we're conscious of the infinite, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we're conscious of His inexhaustible treasures, then yes, we will continue to desire things, to need things, because behind every desire there is an actual need. And through this actual need is the door for you to know Allah and to taste that. As Brother Hazim shared with us earlier this beautiful quote from an Egyptian Sufi sheikh. He said, can you repeat it in Arabic? I can translate it. Worship Allah. Yeah. Worship Allah or adore Allah. Adore Allah. Get to know Allah. That is the meaning of worship. To get to know and adore, love someone. To please Him. Does Allah need our love? Allah does not need our love. Allah is bestowing His love. But to please Him, because He will, show pride in you to the angels. Like Allah put His bet on you. That Shaitan said, I'm going to let them sway this and that and they will forget about you. And Allah said, but He put His bet on us that they are going to remember me and they are going to ask me and they are going to, I'm going to forgive them. So the Shaitan tried to sway you, but Allah put His bet. So Allah rejoice when you awaken to know Him, and that is felt joy within you, because you know your innate nature as a spirit from Allah. So to know yourself is to know Allah, to rejoice, that's a divine joy. And so when you experience this fulfillment, divine contentment, when you feel that contentment and fulfillment, not like the happiness we're thinking of, it's a kind of fulfillment and the contentment. When you feel that, rida, when you feel that rida is not sa'ada, in Arabic is happiness. Rida has a different meaning. Is this acceptance? Is this contentment? Is this fulfillment? That rida. So when you adore Allah and you love Him, you fall in love with Allah, and to please Him, then He will give you marvel. Right? The rest of the quote, what it says? But don't worship Him or adore Him just to please your ego, your temporary things. You just wanted your own selfish desire, worldly desires. And when you try to do that, you will lose, because the worldly things are passing away, are perishable. And you will not feel fulfilled with it. It's like a mirage. The more you run about it, that's the Quran describes it as such. It's a mirage. The more you go to quench your thirst, the farther it is, And you keep being thirsty. But that is different between adoring Allah, for who Allah is, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you adore Allah as who He is, there is the pleasure, there is only ecstasy and fulfillment. And when that happens, then Allah will show you His marvel. Marvel is marvel. Unexpected gifts will come your way, unexpectedly. And that's why Allah sometimes you feel, I have been trying to find a job. I have been trying hard to find a beloved. I have been trying hard to have a child. I have been trying too hard for this or this, and the door is not opening. But sometimes all of a sudden something unexpected opens. Not in the form maybe you wanted. Sometimes it is in the form you wanted. And sometimes not in the form you wanted. But something unexpectedly happens. That's for Allah to reveal Himself to you. That He wants to awaken you, like He's nudging you, I'm here, I'm here. Don't think that this thing, it's me, but it is from me. And I'm infinite. I'm not the form, I am formless. I'm not finite, I'm infinite. So He's trying to nudge you with all of these needs and emotions to reveal Himself to you, to reveal the divine majesty and beauty to you. But you're trying to hold on the finite things and it's fleeting from your hand. So you need to realize what is beyond your desire, worldly desire. There is actually a real need. You're not really desiring a job, you're desiring the provision, the provider, you know. You're not really, again, the desire to feel secure, so we put alarm system or we do this and that. And these are all forms from Allah and gifts given to Him. But with the realization that the real security comes from Allah, then now you have realized your desire is a need for security, and security comes from Allah.